Replicas!
Our transporter is able to replicate living matter, including the brain's many trillion dendritic connections where memory is stored.
Hello and welcome back to Star Trek Sodium. This week I've got some terrific facts all about the Star Trek Next Generation episode Allegiance. The episode whereby Captain Picard is kidnapped and held in a jail cell while a replacement has taken over the real Picard position on the Enterprise. And now on to some facts about the episode that you didn't even know. Tragedy struck the studio when a new intern in the makeup department hurriedly removed the Worf actor's makeup a little too hastily. After the second day of filming Allegiance, the actor supposedly sat in the makeup chair and let the young lady pull off the rubber bits and pieces that were stuck to his face. Many of the pieces are stuck in place using an abnormal adhesive which needs the use of a special tool called a scutching lathe. Now, what the new intern didn't realise is that the scutching lathe is not to be used on an actor's ears because it can easily cut through the ear's soft tissues. As the Worf actor just sat there, the intern used the tool quite incorrectly, pulling away the actor's listening ear from his head in an act of innocent malice. Luckily, the paramount surgeon was close at hand and the ear was saved and put back onto his head nicely and safely. But the blood and hair lost that day remains in the memories of all involved. Marina Citrus had recently been cursed by a local Indian wonder worker when she had allegedly accidentally ran over his leg in her vibrant American car. She had stayed with the poor man while the emergency services arrived to take him off to hospital to fix his leg, but as he was carried off into the ambulance, he stared at her deeply with his eyes and told her that she would be cursed to have nothing but bad luck for the next week or so. The symptoms of this bad luck curse manifested when Citrus didn't even win the lottery despite having bought an extra ticket, and Lever Burton would possibly go on to say that she tripped over on the way into the studio later that week. He saw it clearly in front of him, and that she fell for it, scratching her watch and mucking up her hair. Those of you with eagle eyes would notice that in one scene in particular in Allegiance, Captain Picard looks strangely off to the left and frowns. In this blink or you miss it moment, Patrick Stewart would later disclose that he thinks he saw a ghost. Stewart was an expert at spirits, as during his time as a stage actor he had seen several ghosts while filming Scrooge and similar productions. It was pure luck that the supernatural expert Whoopi Goldberg was on set to confide in, after playing a psychic who could talk to spirits in the film Ghost. She had learned a thing or two. Whoopi was probably overheard telling Patrick Stewart that he was probably just seeing a trick of the light or something else silly, and told to stop wasting her valuable time. This soapy episode is largely set in a prison cell, where Picard and 3 others are held without their consent. The genesis of the episode's idea came from that time that Rick Berman was probably held in Mary County Jail for 48 hours for allegedly bouncing one off at the back of a store without permission. The story goes that Michael Piller had to come out to help, like a prince in shining armour, to save the day, having to pay $4,000 bail to free his co-producing friend. The degenerate that he shared a cell with heavily inspired the insipid character Esok that Picard has to be imprisoned with in this Hensing episode, so we can all thank Rick Berman for getting put in prison. Now, this episode is of course called Allegiance, but did you know there were other episode names that nearly got the official name of the episode? Other names that were considered for the episode include Allegiance of Worlds, Allegiance of Earth, Earth Bullet, Reptiles Bullet, Julia, In a World of Security, World of Bullets, and Security of Bullet Earth Reptiles. In 1990, Crucid Paramount boss demanded that Star Trek needed to appeal more to kids, and so should include more fun alien characters with bright primary colours, the kind that you might find in some popular Disney films. The original plan for the episode was for Captain Picard to be kidnapped and held captive with some fun-looking cartoon-like aliens called Dongi, Fungo and Zip Zap. Rick Berman saw what was unfolding before him and didn't like it one bit. He knew that if Gene Roddenberry happened to stumble into the set, half-baked on warm gin, he would fly off the handle with rage. Keeping Gene happy was Rick's main concern, and so the plans were changed and the aliens were made to look more like traditional Star Trek beings. Those of you with eagle eyes would have noticed, of course, that the walls in the prison cell that Picard and the others are imprisoned in look ever so strange in their texture. Now, this is because the walls, doors, beds and panels of the set are actually all made of rope, painted rope. Paramount had ordered, accidentally, over 1 million yards of rope for use making some pirate movie or other, and had thousands of yards left that they hadn't used. And so when the set designers were coming up with creating the set of a prison room, they decided to help out Paramount and construct it completely out of leftover rope, painted to help disguise it from the ignorant eye of the public. That's why this episode is widely known as being one of the ropiest episodes of all of Star Trek. Allegiance has the notoriety of having the lowest viewing figure of any episode of Star Trek. When it first aired in 1990, less than 1,000 people around the world tuned in to watch Captain Picard get kidnapped by those silly aliens, and since it was first broadcast, even less people have watched it. Well, finally we've gotten here. It's the famous episode where the Riker actor's confusing resignation letter was discovered on the ground of the locker room. Supposedly an envelope found on the ground was addressed to Rick Berman, and it read inside, "I have come to the end of my last contemplation. My time here has come to an end, and it's all because of you and your unlimited kindness. The way you jump and stump has me in tears every day, but even though we film Star Trek, there's no going back to the days of high school, the days before that when I was younger, and the days before I suckled the teat." This strange note was discovered by the young Crusher actor, who of course showed it to everyone. The Riker actor denied that he'd written it, despite his signature being at the bottom. He supposedly just grabbed the letter from Crusher's soft young grasp and threw it in the trash, and then walked away whistling, with a crucid smile on his benevolent face. Thanks ever so much for checking out my super duper facts all about Allegiance, which is a pretty mid-range quality episode of season 3. It's nowhere near one of the best, but it's not completely terrible either. So thanks very much. Please subscribe to the channel if you want some more facts all about Star Trek. Go and watch some of my older videos, because there's lots of facts all about Star Trek and other stuff. All the best, guys, and I'll catch you next time, unless I don't. Toodaloo!